reading on behalf of all the women, and I know it's many, you have abused in some way, I say get some help and take an honest look at yourself. I have no respect for any man that belittles, lies, cheats, sleeps around, and uses women for his own power and ego. You are that man.
There's something completely captivating about watching a live broadcast when everything suddenly spins out of control.
I have a very quick statement.
It's not going to be that quick.
Pete Hegseth has denied any wrongdoing. His lawyer said he paid the woman in 2023 to head off the threat of a baseless lawsuit. No charges were ever brought.
You rushed me for that?
When Sunny Host brought up the controversial topic of Pete Hegseth's qualifications for Secretary of Defense on the latest episode of The View, she quickly found herself at the center of a whirlwind.
Of the 3 million people, about 250,000 are women. And in the military, there's been a lot of issues with sexual harassment, sexual abuse. We all remember the tail hook scandal. So, this is what I would plead and say and ask of senators, particularly Republican senators. Because you stood up against Matt Gaetz, that's not enough. You have a duty to your constituents, to this country, to the Constitution, to the members of the FBI, to the members of the military, to the people who serve this country, to fully vet each and every one of these appointees, particularly folks like Tulsi Gabbard, who there are grave issues about, people like Peter Hegseth, who there are grave concerns about, people like RFK, who there are grave concerns about, people like Kash Patel, who there are grave concerns about. So that you stood up to one does not mean your job is done. Your job is to advise and consent on each and every one of them, and we expect and demand that of you.
Yeah, I know we're running out of time, but I want to speak to your point about Kash Patel, who Trump has now nominated for FBI director.
Let's just say it got intense.
And have been for years. And as your mother, it pains me and embarrasses me to say that, but it is the sad truth. Oof. Now she says that she sent a follow-up email apologizing to her son, who she calls a good father and husband. I don't know. Yeah, well.
I mean, I don't have kids, but I think I could murder someone if my mom wouldn't send that email. Like, that you have to take seriously. I've been upfront. I have grave concerns about Pete Hegseth as Secretary of Defense. He is wholly unqualified for it. This is overseeing the entire U.S. military, the personnel population under it, the families, the dependents. That is not someone who should be there. And then add to it the moral failings. These are roles where you put people in them who the force can look up to, who they can admire, people who have family values. This should be disqualifying, and I actually think the Senate has very real concerns about Hegseth. Even Republicans on the Senate Armed Services Committee, they're looking at this man, they're like, he's maybe managed half a dozen people in his life. He's not prepared to manage 3 million people. Then add his own mother saying these things, you can't tune that out. So I think he needs to be struck down as the appointee, and they need to nominate someone more qualified.
To say the least, tensions flared. The
buck stopped with the Secretary of Defense or the Secretary of War, whatever he wants to call himself.
I don't know.
And what's interesting to me is on Sunday, Trump was interviewed on Air Force One, I believe, and he said Pete told him he didn't issue the order to kill all the people on board. He said he did not order the death of those 2 men. That's what President Trump said. Then on Monday, a Department of Defense official says Hegseth had the target engagement authority. And then on Monday evening, you have the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, say it was the Admiral.
Yeah.
I mean, the lack of accountability from the top is despicable. It's disgusting. Everyone knows when you work in the government, there is a hierarchy. And the problem here is if a war crime was committed, everyone's responsible. Pete Hegseth is, that Admiral is, whoever pulled the trigger is. it's a horrible thing.
The most Weasley part is they're saying that it's do you notice how legal that announcement was?
Yes.
Caroline Leavitt normally runs those pretty loose, and her head's up here and everything. That whole thing is language that was specific to this moment,
Correct.
which means they kind of know they might be in hot water.
Yeah.
But I thought the worst part was how they blame it on the admiral and then said, but it's fine. Why not just defend your stance? Like, why not take it and say, I made a decision? Because that admiral is incriminated
because you
now.
You have to be
Agreed,
a
but I'm
leader.
just giving them a suggestion because this was a decorated admiral.
Explain to me how this is a war crime.
It's not even a war crime because we're not in war. It may just be murder.
Host didn't hold back. She openly questioned Hegseth's judgment and integrity, casting serious doubts on both his competence and character. Then, just as she was hitting her stride, an urgent legal update about Hegseth's ongoing claims arrived, adding an unexpected twist to the situation. Moments like this make you wonder what's really happening behind the scenes in today's politics. As we explore the impact of this surprising turn, it's clear that Pete Hegseth continues to stir strong reactions. His controversial presence has been causing waves for quite some time, and the story is tuned because you won't want to miss a single moment of what comes next.
Befuddled by why he did that. The optics were terrible, meaning all of our top military brass are all in one place, and we spent $6 million to get them there. That didn't make a lot of sense to me. It also didn't make a lot of sense to me that he was saying that he was going to toughen physical standards and review the anti-hazing policy by sort of implementing a hazing policy. And then also he said he was going to return to the highest male standard for combat positions because the troops were fat. I don't understand how that was supposed to be an uplifting message for our military.
Maybe he's referring to Colonel Sanders.
It was really a bizarre thing. He started talking about woke DEI policies. By the way, there are no gender quotas in the military. By the way, he fired more than a dozen military leaders, many of them people of color and women. He fired the chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff, General Charles Brown Jr., who is African American. Yeah. He fired the first woman to command the Navy, Admiral Lisa Franchetti. I don't understand the sort of hypocrisy of firing these people, having all these people meet together and then denigrating them.
But did you look at it? They're looking at him like he has two heads.
Defense seems to have unleashed a torrent of debate. Things are officially heating up. Let's take a closer look. There's been a noticeable surge in reactions after Sunny Hostin's sharp critique and the surprising legal issues brought up during the broadcast. Opinions are pouring in from the public, political leaders, and even military personnel. It's clear that Hegseth is not happy with the criticism. Many are questioning his ability to lead such an important federal agency, given both past and current concerns. For now, it seems his prior performance is under close scrutiny. Critics have raised serious questions about potential ethical violations, his management style, and other alleged misconduct. These are not trivial matters, but this discussion goes beyond Hegseth himself. It touches on broader military and political issues. Some of his proposed policies have raised eyebrows among service members. For example, his plans to revise physical requirements and reconsider certain anti-hazing rules have sparked concern. While some see these moves as attempts to enforce discipline, others worry they are outdated and could worsen existing problems like harassment or discrimination. This is particularly serious because these changes don't happen in isolation. They can increase tensions around military ethics and accountability. Soldiers may feel less confident in their leaders if these policies are implemented without careful consideration. The political implications are significant as well. Even several Republicans on the Senate Armed Services Committee have expressed doubts about Hegseth's fitness for the role, according to Sunny Hostin. With so many voices weighing in, the situation continues to generate intense debate and scrutiny. Wait a second, seems to be the reaction. Is he really the right person for this role? It's clear that influential positions, especially those tied to national security, require support from both sides of the political spectrum. Yet rumors and concerns from Democrats and Republicans alike point to serious issues with the nomination process. So what's the overall reaction? It's been spreading like wildfire. Social media is buzzing with clips of the broadcast and the heated exchanges, prompting discussions about Hegseth's credentials, leadership, and integrity. People are debating his past actions and whether they align with the standards expected of a Secretary of Defense. sharing opinions across forums, discussion boards, and every corner of the internet. Many of these past actions, which critics say conflict with the role's ethical expectations, were highlighted by Hostin's criticism. His denials aren't easing viewers' concerns. As a result, trust has become a central question. Can someone with repeated allegations and past settlements truly be relied on to lead the nation's defense? More than anything, people are emphasizing transparency and accountability in positions of such importance. It's hard to reassure the public that everything is fine when significant issues remain unresolved. The key question isn't just whether HGSTH is being honest, it's also about what his nomination could mean for the military and the world in terms of the standards the U.S. expects from its leaders. And let's be honest, this isn't only about his personality, it's also about the example set for the next generation of leaders. The Senate undoubtedly needs to pause and consider the full picture. They face immense pressure to make a decision that aligns with moral, ethical, and political expectations as they review Hegseth's nomination. This could be a defining moment in military leadership, and their choices are under intense public scrutiny. Even though these questions are tough, they are essential. Where should the line be drawn? What kind of leaders do we want guiding the future of our armed forces? Now let's talk about the consequences. The recent legal changes triggered widespread confusion. Hegseth's situation goes beyond the usual political theater. It could create ripple effects that influence not only his own path, but also how America's top institutions judge leadership responsibility. What do you think? Could Pete Hegseth reshape military traditions? Or are these controversies simply distractions that make him unsuitable for the role? It's time to hear your thoughts. Join the discussion in the comment section below and share your perspective. What's your take on all of this?